Welcome back to Pages of Faith. Today's verse is Come Back to God, Hosanna 6:1. And it says, Come, let us return to the Lord. He has torn us into pieces. Now he will lead us. That's the full verse. Come, let us return to the Lord. He has torn us to pieces, but he will heal us. He has injured us, but he will bind us up our wounds. Have you ever felt like you've gone too far from God? Like you've made too many mistakes, drifted too far, or just messed up so badly to come back? Maybe you've been avoiding prayer because you feel guilty. Maybe you haven't opened up your Bible in weeks, months, even years, or ever. And now you're thinking, God must be disappointed in me. I'll get my life together first, then I'll return to God. I don't know if he'd take me back anyways. But here's the truth. God is not waiting to punish you. He's wanting to restore you. And today's proof is proof. Come, let us return to the Lord. He has torn us to pieces, but he will heal us. He has injured us, but he will bind us and bind us up our wounds. No matter how far we wandered away from God, he's calling us home. The book Hosanna is one of the most powerful love stories in the Bible. God compares his relationship with Israel to a husband and a wife. But here's the problem. Israel had been unfaithful. They turned to idols, ignored God's commandments, and chased after everything except him. And yet, God still loved him. He allowed them to experience the consequences of their choices, not to destroy them, but to bring them back. He has torn us to pieces, but he will heal us. At first, that might sound harsh. Why would God allow brokenness? But sometimes brokenness is what brings us back to him. And have you ever had a moment where you hit rock bottom, literally hit rock bottom, where your life fell apart and you finally realized, I can't do this on my own anymore? Maybe it was from a broken heart, maybe a failure, maybe a moment where you saw everything you had been chasing wasn't enough, grief. And at that moment where God does his greatest work, that is what he does, his greatest work. He has injured us, but he will bind up our wounds. God doesn't break us to punish us. He breaks us was keeping us from him so he can heal us. What does that teach us about God? He is a God of restoration. He doesn't just forgive, he heals. He allows us to go through the struggles in life, not to destroy us, but to draw us closer. And just remember, God gave us the freedom of choice. Think about that. And what does it teach us about ourselves? We are prone to wander, just like Israel. We chase after things that can't satisfy us. We often wait too long to return to God, thinking we need to fix ourselves first, instead of asking for God's help. And what does this verse do in our lives? How do we apply it to our lives daily? Stop running, for one. If there's something separating you from God, get it out of the way. Today's the day to come back. Think about it. Is it people in your lives that are separating from God? Is it temptation? Is it doubt? And just remember, the person or thing that puts doubt in our lives is the devil. So remember that. Let God heal you. Bring your wounds to him instead of trying to fix them on your own. Bring your wounds to God instead of trying to fix them on your own. And don't let people try to fix them. Let God do it. Let him heal you. Bring your wounds to God instead of trying to fix them on your own. Trust that his love is bigger than your mistakes. So let me ask you, what's keeping you fully from God, from returning to God? What is keeping you? Is it shame? Thinking you failed too many times? Is it people in your life? The company you keep? Is it pride? Thinking you can handle life on your own? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Wondering God will truly accept you back? Think about that. So here's the truth. Come, let us return to the Lord. He's not wanting and not waiting with judgment. He's waiting with open arms. He's waiting. He's waiting for you. So here's your challenge for today. Take 10 minutes out of your day in prayer. Ask God, Lord, where do I need to return to you? Maybe it's your prayer time. Maybe it's trusting. Maybe it's the people. And when he reveals himself to you, take a step back and think. Because God is ready to restore what's been broken in your life. Surrender to God. Do the surrender novena. Oh God, I surrender. Take care of everything. Do it. Say it. Put all your problems to the foot of the cross and pray and return to God today. Read Hosanna 6. Hosanna 6. Read it. Reflect on it. And reflect on his love for you. And share this message with someone who might need to hear it. Share the link. Because no matter how far you've gone, God is always calling you back. He is. We'll see you next time on Pages of Faith. Have a great day.